Hello everybody, and welcome to Mega Scorch's The Main Phase, your weekly source for all trading card game goodness. I am Mac19, host and producer. This is episode number 92, and it's November 16th, and it's a Sunday. Boom! I spit that out.
It's always Sunday, man.
Out really
It's always
quick.
Sunday when we do the show.
No, it wasn't. No, we have not done a Sunday, haven't we? Well, one day we will not, and then we'll have it recorded the day we don't, because we can just go to the beginning of each episode, and you know.
You can just wait till that day.
We could just wait till that day. But if I don't say it, I'll forget that day. You just wait one day.
We'll never forget that day.
We'll never forget. That day will never be forgotten. The day when we, took all the color in the world or something like that. I don't know. That would be a pretty epic thing to do. That reminds me of Rainbow Bright. Anyone ever watch Rainbow Bright? Back in the... No, that was just me.
No, I did not.
That was just me, huh?
That reminds me of that Powerpuff Girl episode where that mime steals all the color. Remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
Oh my god. Powerpuff Girls are legit. I heard they're bringing that back.
Yeah, I think they are.
That's pretty epic.
Sometime next year or something.
Yeah, that's pretty epic in my opinion. The kids will now know what good entertainment is, and we all know we want to know what that is. We all know we want our kids to have better entertainment. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we are back for another week. We weren't here last week due to I forgot what it was. I think I was fixing someone's computer and I didn't have time. Oh my god, this thing took forever. So many viruses. I thought I would dump on a show. And I wasn't. I had to get him back to him, so I was like, well, God, had to take that. Oops, excuse me. Had to take that over the show, sadly, guys. So I hope you can forgive me. But we're back, and we're better than ever with the same stuff. But, hey, I like to think we're better. So we have awesome hosts joining us this week, as always. We have Nero. Hello, Nero.
I'm awesome.
Yes. You're so awesome.
Yay.
Yeah, you're so awesome.
Oh, baby!
He's just so awesome. Then we have Chris joining us this week. Hello, Chris.
Hey, buddies. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. You're back yet again with your maple syrup shot. I like that.
Hooray.
It's still my favorite picture of you.
It's one of my favorite pictures of myself as well.
Yes. And then we have Walter, who is slucking through his sickness here. He's got an ear infection, but he's still gonna do the show for us because he's awesome as well.
You can do it.
It should be not a problem, honestly.
Yeah.
Shouldn't affect it too much. I'll just sound like a robot, so
Yeah.
Pretend it's a voice modulator.
Yeah. You do sound like a different person slightly.
I know.
But hey. So yes. So we can talk about this week, guys. We got our State of the Game talk where we're talking about all the three different card games. Got some Magic stuff, mostly some deck stuff. Then we got some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff, which debatably a lot of shit happened. So I have like 5 things on the list, but there's a lot more that happened besides what I have on there. Got some Pokemon talk. Let me just give you a preview about the Pokemon talk later. Don Fan. I'm seeing it all over the fucking place. Oh my god.
It's so good.
Yeah, and it's so cheap. Like, uncommon card is the best card right now.
Don Fan is the best card ever.
Yes. That's my little preview for Pokemon later. But let's start this pitch off like we always do. What decks we've been playing lately. But I want to ask Chris, did you go to Minicon, Chris?
Yes, I would.
Was there any How was the Yu-Gi-Oh meetup at Minicon? Let's start off with that. That's your story for this section.
Yeah, I was one of the ones running it, and it went pretty well. It was because SARPA didn't put our event on the board, and it was very, very last minute. So instead of a tournament like we would have wanted, because we planned, weeks ahead, but SARPA went like, we don't have room. And then like 3 days ago, we got an okay. So yeah, it was just a meet and greet, which went perfectly well. There was trading, meeting of new people, games all around.
Good stuff. Was there an impromptu tournament? Was enough for that?
We thought about it, but people kept going to the rave. They love to put our events either near the rave event or Smash. So people had to make choices. Priorities had to be set.
Yes, I understand. And if people like, hey, have fun at rave, seeing half-naked ladies dance, or go play Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't blame them.
Yeah.
And then dancing's also fun as ever, so you can't go wrong with dancing.
But yeah, the Yu-Gi-Oh event went well. It was a basic meet and greet, and we did what we came to do. Also, I picked up retro sleeves, Matt.
Retro sleeves?
Yes, the old green one from Upper Deck that said Yu-Gi-Oh on them. Some dude was selling them for $2. I picked up 100.
Oh my god, you got 3 sets, right?
I got 2.
2.
I only
Oh
have
my
enough
god. The 2 decks you put in those must be amazing decks.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Chris, you lucky bastard. There's those
know.
sleeves, and then there's just the sleeves. I want to get custom sleeves one day that make it look like the show backings. That's it. Those are like the 2 best sleeves in my opinion.
Those are the best sleeves ever. Also, I think you should get sleeves that says, like, I have a podcast.
With that picture, Mac.
Oh,
Yes.
you guys. Oh,
With that picture.
that picture. Yes, it'd be so.
It's the
so
stuff
funny.
of legend.
It is the stuff of legend. I have a podcast in my robe, in my Mai Tais I drink. It's got to be Mai Tais, right? That's what the
Yes.
high class people drink.
You know, I have a podcast.
Oh Jesus, you guys are hilarious, hilarious. Yes, I
I
guess
would
I'll have to
actually
do that one day now, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it does.
And you also have to make that into a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
You know, I have a.
Wait, there already is a card that we can get shopped over that.
What
Oh,
is-
man. There's a card called Spicy Spy, which is a dude holding a drink and a lady coming up to him. We can overimpose Matt's picture on the guy's face.
No, we just gotta get Amanda Lapalm to do an alteration. All right, that's
Oh,
the
no,
best.
she got famous again. She may not listen to us.
It's okay. Aw. I see how it is. No, I could commission that shit. I wouldn't mind paying for that. That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I also have
And
It'd be
then
so
we
much
can give
better
it-
if you, like,
And if I could
the
get 2
corner.
of them, or if I can only get 1, that'd be fine. But then I could, give it away on the show or something. That'd be really cool.
Yes.
The fans would have the most ultimate Yu-Gi-Oh card in the world, obviously.
Yes.
When you end the show, you have to put that picture at the bottom so people know
Oh,
we're
God.
talking.
Yes, exactly. Oh, you guys are so funny.
We love you, Matt.
Yes. So
We
that's
do.
good that the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff turned out well. What decks you been playing lately, though?
Constellar, but then the coming of the Quittrops claim.
Yes.
and, I found out the hard way that the skill drain main deck is a thing, and when you don't draw things, so I borrowed my friend's Shadol deck,
I see.
and I've been messing around with that. But yeah, the coming of the Quittrops, man, it's like people here have them because they have money.
Yeah.
Like seriously, people drop like $350 on the deck day one,
Oh my
even
God.
more afterwards.
Oh my God, so much money.
Yeah.
Walter's probably like, that's nothing in Magic. That could be like 3 cards.
No, if you consider like a standard deck, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good amount, honestly.
Oh,
It really
okay.
is.
Yu-Gi-Oh, I still think is more expensive than it. I don't know. I guess it depends what a card it is, because I would like to think that Yu-Gi-Oh was more expensive most of the time, especially when Dad back in the day was like 300 just for himself, right?
Yeah,
So-
those were the days. That's when that's when Upper Deck ruled the game.
Yeah. So damn, oh man, people have that much dough around here, huh? Well, they should spend some money on, buying some good
Yeah.
other cards so that they could trade them to me. That'd be cool. Damn.
That would be cool.
I like to do things on the down on the cheap, but hey, if people
Me
want
too.
the shiniest, I guess I don't blame them. How about you, Nero? What you been playing?
I haven't been playing much recently.
No decks.
I've been collecting. I've been mostly trying to get more Pokemon stuff. Getting a little bit into that stuff.
Oh yeah, and you're probably interested in the Don Fan deck.
A little bit because it's cheap.
Oh yeah, it's cheap and it's a good deck. The strategy's sound. I don't think it's like, it's not like old broken Don Fan in my opinion. It's a nice cool
Right.
strategy.
I mean, old Doc. Can you imagine old broken Don fan with strong energy?
I can imagine any old card with strong energy would be good.
That's just evil sounding. I don't even think about it. Do
What
20
evil?
more damage to Don fan. Turn 1, take 80.
Take 80. Just take 80, and then it runs away. It brings out something with safeguard.
If you wish.
I do wish.
So that's what I haven't played much.
Well,
so
the collecting mode isn't too bad. Once in a while you got to go and, it is a collectible. I know they're trading card games, but pretty much they're also collecting is a big aspect of it as well.
Right.
Yes. How about you, Walter? What you been playing?
I've been trying out. Was it Friday? I was trying out my own Warriors build actually, Black White Warriors. And that went all right. It was interesting, but it's actually going to tie into us looking at like one of the Warriors decks today, where like I was having trouble closing out games, and it seems like that deck had cards that answered that problem that I wasn't playing because they were playing 3 colors a little bit. They were playing green. I think it is a big deal in closing out games.
You talking about that what is it called? The chef. I could call it chef deck.
The cheese deck, yeah.
Cheese. I was like, I've been calling it the chef deck. No, seriously, I've been calling it the chef deck. I'm like, because you know.
I did have one game. I had like a little bit of a daring tech in the main board, and I had one game where it actually went off against a control player, which I was amazed. Where if you play Soren, Solemn, Visitor, and you up him on like turn 4, and you know he gets upped and doesn't get removed. Next turn, if you play a Johnny and minus him, you can alt Soren that turn, and then like there's literally no deck that can play around having to sacrifice a creature every turn in this format, except like if they get lucky and get Sarkon, and then you just have to remove their Sarkon.
Oh my god, you actually got that off, huh?
Yeah. Against
you were talking about that too.
I was just like, it was against a control player, and he had open mana, but we both mulled the 6, and I was just like, well, you know, I might as well go for this. I have like a backup of Johnny in my hand anyways and stuff, so I'm like, well, play a Johnny, and he's like, okay. And I was like, minus a Johnny, and he's like, okay. And I was like, you're just gonna let this happen?
No hero's downfall? Where was his hero's downfall? What the fuck?
Nothing. No hero's downfall, no utter end. I guess all he was holding was a Sultai Charm, which was no good against this. And I was just like, okay, Soren alt. So yeah, it was interesting. I got to do that one at least once, which I was hoping I would get to.
That is pretty amazing, because like you were talking about that, like that could be a thing that could be consistent enough to where it could be
game breaking. There's like no answer.
Sacrifice a creature every turn. Token decks could do it, but not a lot of tokens.
It's very rough though. Like they have to basically. It's so hard to play around that, and me just doing whatever I do.
You know, all the token decks I've seen in Standard are kind of shitty in my opinion. Yeah, raise the alarms is cool and all, but
yeah,
no, that's not.
The Mardu one is actually a little surprising. It shows up every now and then.
Oh, okay.
It's just because like the main token they produce is goblins, and Goblin Rebel Master happens to like that. So I guess plus Butcher the Horde is obviously just good with tokens. So that's like the one I've seen. And actually I was playing like last week, and a guy got me at least one of the rounds where he just like Horling Outburst, Raise the Alarm, Perforos, and Brimaz. So it's just like there was so much damage on top of what he was already throwing. It was pretty hard to race. Yeah, I was playing the Jeskai Heroic deck, so it was still really hard to race.
Yeah, I can imagine. I
also been playing that a little bit, the Ascendancy Heroic / combo deck, which is certainly interesting because it's a little brutal. It's like it's the hardest deck I've ever had to play in a standard environment. But like just there'll be games that you just have no business winning, that you're just like, well, I win now, you know.
Yeah.
Scoop them up.
Yeah, we haven't had a combo deck in my opinion in Standard in a long time.
I know.
It's time to play it a little bit. Why not?
They've never been as strong as this one is.
Yeah, I think this one is relatively consistent enough to where it will, like you say, people are playing it. Fuck,
and its backup plan is still so good. Just like the beat him down with red white heroic. Like the deck's pretty real.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. What have I been playing? Let's start off, since we were just talking about Magic Must Do Magic. I've been playing a little bit of EDH, of course, because it was fun. I use Nizzet. I've always still used Nizzet.
Okay.
I never will not use him. I don't make a competitive. I don't have a competitive EDH. It's just not me.
Okay.
So it's all I do is go, bring him out, draw a card, draw a card, draw a card, draw a card, draw a card. That's what I do. So I have all spells that just yield me to draw cards. Whether they tap, they draw me a card. When they put into play, I draw cards. Or I use cycling on some other lands. I just draw cards like a madman. And apparently, if this is true, Walter, you should confirm this. Apparently, that counts as commander damage when he does that 1 damage.
It does.
Yes, it does.
Well, the thing is, the 21 number is restricted to commander combat damage.
Okay.
Like it has to happen in combat for that
Thank
to matter.
you. Finally, someone answered this, because I've been getting mixed messages all over the place. Some people say it does. Some people say it doesn't.
But like that's commander damage if like there was something that referred to it like coming from there, or if like someone was trying to prevent sources from commander damage.
Mm-hmm.
But the lethal 21 has to be commander combat damage.
Okay. So I gotta do 40 no matter what with that.
Yep.
All right. Thank you for clearing that up.
Well, Niv Mizzet is brutal like that anyways, because there's like 5 or 6 infinite combos with him.
Which I don't run any of them.
That's fair. I probably wouldn't either, honestly, if I was playing. But like they are there,
Yeah.
People have to be worried that they exist if you're playing Niv Mizzet.
Yeah.
It's like one mana cards and you just win the game. As a curiosity, I win the game, like, or the Flash version of it, like that much easier. As I just win the game.
Yeah, mine's like purely fun. It's very slow, but hey,
Yeah, that's
I like it because I like it for the reason. Another reason I like it is when I'm playing multi.
Mhm.
I can play that instead of just going for like attack a player. What I can do is I can play like board control with like weak stuff in the beginning, like pop things off, do damage, and things across the board, and then I'm drawing like nuts too. So, and I do play counter spells, believe it or not. So in case I ever need those.
Yeah. There's some problems that can only be answered like that.
Yeah, so it's definitely a fun one, but I always like that. So I play a little bit of that with my buddies. That was fun. I've tried out the white-blue control deck that I've seen pop up, where it uses the
I hope you have plenty of Elspeths.
Yeah.
That's the only real way I can win.
Yep.
yeah, that is actually what it uses the suspension field. That's it. So it's pretty much like the one I have in the dock, but it's a little different. With Banishing Light and Suspension Field. Because apparently, I saw that pop up like, wow, those are two good white cards, and there's really nothing else like Suspension Field around.
Yeah, someone was playing that around the shop for a while. It was
Suspension
pretty
Field is
confident. It was
just really
pretty strong.
good. And then what I liked about it is that if you didn't like what you were doing with that, you can side them out for other things and to make it more of a blue control deck. So I tried that out. It was pretty cool. Elspeth is the only way to win. That literally is the only way to win. And I've still been playing the Black
that's
Boot.
unfortunate because like some people do play Stain the Mind, and you can just like lose like a turn 3 Stain the Mind if they're on the play. Because of how fast it can go. It's like you have to have a stroke, or else you're just in a ton of trouble.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Totally. And then blue-black control.
That's why I like if you're willing to do it. It feels weird because like you can do Esper, like you can basically kind of splice the blue-black and the blue-white.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing next. Like taking both those decks. Like honestly, just make it so that you have access. Like literally, what you're doing, what you're taking from the white deck, is you're just taking the whole suspension field, maybe Last Breath, and then Banishing Light, and then that's it. And then you just make your land base have some white in it.
Yeah. And then like what's good about playing 3 colors too is in control especially. It's just like you get more access to more scry lands. Like I don't know why I don't see more scry lands. That's just like, well, instead of getting 4, now you get 12, which is the control player's dream. So
yeah, and I go back and forth between Divination and Jace's was it Integrity, whatever that's called.
Oh
I
yeah,
go back and forth.
I don't care for Divination. You really need to be up on turn 3, or else you could just like lose to a Rabble Master sometimes.
My logic was Divination. Like I can pay 3 and then still have mana to do other things instead of me just playing that. But then what I like about Jace is that let's say they're ending their turn. Well, they're ending their turn. I'm just gonna activate my instant spell, draw, and then I untap, and then I'm good to go that next turn. Like that's the only advantage I see with Jace. It costs like so much.
There's a little bit of a decent middle ground in the form of Weave Fate, which is in Gonzo Tarkir, which is 4 mana instant draw 2. I know the guy who was running it around our shop for a while was doing that.
I might try that because that would give me the benefit of Jace's, but then the low cost of the Divination.
Yeah, it's a good middle ground between them.
Definitely to give that a shot. So those are what I've been playing. I have not played any Modern with my soldiers because I was too busy trying to figure out. I think I was gonna go with this blue-black control for sure. Now that this white deck popped up, and totally didn't even think about Last Breath or anything for some reason. But maybe it's possible. So I might bring Esper back. And plus, Ashiok is still great, in my opinion. I was having a nice little discussion with somebody about it, and they were like going hard. Like it was a nice discussion, bringing up its flaws and everything. I'm like, well, yeah, it does have problems.
Oh yeah.
But man, dropping that thing turn 3, man.
It's
if
weird.
they have to deal with it. If they don't, it's gonna be a big problem later.
Yeah, it's weird because it's just like Ashiok is really extremely matchup dependent. Like, cards really bad against other control players because it's gonna take so long to really grind them meaningfully, and it's really bad against the really cheap aggro because it doesn't apply anything on board 3. But it's really good against like the mid range because that card, if it not immediately removed, is going to start casting Siege Rhinos.
Yeah, and plus when I'm milling their stuff, like sometimes I hit such good shit. Like they lose their rhinos, I've seen people lose their lions, like just everything that they were gonna be dropping on me to do some massive, give me massive problems. Yukio, I've jumped back in that now that the core forts are out because I'm seeing now I'm finally seeing pendulums being in the meta legitly. So now I wanted to come back and revisit the game. I updated the frogs to be more in tune with the format, because right now, creature swap, since the last ARG event, like literally everyone's on creature swap's dick right now.
That's
So.
because they wanna be able to take the Virgils, the Dantes.
Yeah. And everything like that. So I like that. My creature swap
I know you
is
do.
more powerful.
I know you do.
Yes. And then Monarch Stormfront, Stormforth is still great.
Because, it gets rid of something. Well,
Yeah.
kind of. It doesn't get rid of towers, but people don't play towers, really.
Yeah, they don't. And I also brought back Obelisk in my main build as well.
Because you need something to run over those big
Yep.
things that are problems.
Yep, and he is, the deck can easily bring him out, assuming I can special summon, of course, but if I already can't special summon, I'm already losing. So,
Yeah.
other than that, the other big major changes I did, I actually joined the party and I dropped Veilers. I kind of see the point that, hand traps aren't as powerful as they used to be.
Yeah, like, what are you going to hand trap? You
Yeah.
can't hand any quick drop monsters, and if you can, that means they'll go back up to being plus
Yeah,
2,000.
and it's kind of a worthless, spot in my deck. Battle Fader I still feel is worth it. So is Ghost Trick, because it's a stop OTKs.
Yeah, Battle Fader is definitely worth
Yeah.
it. You need to be able to stop those OTKs.
Yeah, and he still put something on the board for me to use, so I kept that. And I'm a fool. I people are really not on it. Really don't like him for some reason right now, but I still like Gores. I still run 2 Gores.
Because
I still think it's worth it. I still think it's worth it.
People don't like surprise gores. They don't like surprises.
Yeah.
People are scared.
I'm still rocking that. And I brought the Lad back up to 2, because it's, turned early Lad is just still so good right now, especially more than ever. People are knit tightly. They have their deck so knit tight. Making them waste 3 resources is like so important.
Yep.
Yeah.
It really is.
And Spell Shattering Arrow. Guys, this quick play spell card. Ooh, I love it.
Yep. Do you have common ones?
No, I don't.
Wait, which ones do you have?
I don't have any in
Oh,
RL. Okay, you know what? I think if I look at my box, I think I got one. And it's a common one.
Shot up to $2.
Wow. Man, people didn't. I would be using that when they were playing that shit when I was doing OCG a couple months ago. Well, not even like a month ago. I was using that to fight off when I was playing OCG decks. And Spell Canceller is also what I use to fight off key things.
Fairy Wind has jumped up too.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I saw did Dimensional Wall pop up too?
No, but Magic Cylinder did.
Interesting, because I feel Dimensional Wall's better because it doesn't target the monster.
That's true, but
I'm sorry, it doesn't affect the monster, I should say.
Yeah, it affects the damage, which is useful against towers if people use it.
Yeah, that's true. I always like that. It was the car I'd preferred.
Oh, I know why. It's because the attack still goes through. That's why people prefer Magic Cylinder.
Yeah, you still take the damage, but honestly, they're already paying life points. So
yeah, that's how you hit them. You
Yeah.
hit them with Ceasefire. You hit them with the Burning to Telemech Monster.
Yep.
You hit them with Spell Shattering Arrow, 500 for each pendulum. That's 1,000. So if you go if you go Scout and I go that, you've lost 1,800 life points.
Yeah, it's pretty. That's why it's pretty good. I like that.
You hit their face-up experience with Fairy Wind. You gotta burn Quitrops. You have to burn those darn angels to the ground.
Burn them to the ground.
Burn for it.
Yes. Now if someone made a Burning Abyss deck with burn in it, which probably isn't gonna happen, because you need that
Probably
trap
will.
line. You need the trap lineup to do stuff.
Give
So
it
I'm
time.
actually liking how frogs are. Of course, they still have the same problems I always had, Vanity's Emptiness. But apparently, people are also thinking Vanity's Emptiness is not as good anymore, which I don't know why. But
Because Pendulum doesn't use the chain.
oh, that's true.
You have to second guess them. Like Shaddoll's, you need to use a magic card to bring them out.
Those
Burning
inherent. I forgot. Pendulum summons are inherent special summons. That is true.
Yes, so you can't stop. If they have 2 in their pendulum zone and you flip up the emptiness, that means they'll just normal summon something, equip it with Sacrifice, and attack you for 21.
Yeah.
But if you don't flip up that emptiness, then they just vomit their extra deck at you.
Yeah.
Violent.
So some of my initial testing, like I honestly, frogs are holding up just as well as they did before. Of course, they're still
That's
not a
because
tier
you
1
can
deck.
defend yourself. You can defend yourself against the OTK of madness.
Yeah, and Ghost Trick is still good. Battlefish is still good. I think Gores is good. I was even thinking about running Mini Gores, but that was just getting too cute. I think Gores does what Mini Gores
Mini
does.
Gores?
It's the little ogre guy who says on the second direct
oh, yeah.
damage.
Ogre of Scarlet Sorrow.
Yeah, that guy. I tried him for a little while because I thought I was cute.
That sounds kind of wacky.
I know. I was trying to be cute.
I've been trying to deal with quit drops. Luckily, there are not that many quit drops in the Buffalo area, but the number is slowly increasing as the set gets more, out there,
Yeah.
which worries me because I'll have to face quit drop players. And if I have to face quit drop players, I'll just kind of well, this sucks. I guess I have to main Thunder King again. Also, got to stock up on mistakes.
Mistakes. Oh, mistakes. Mind
Yeah.
Crush is what I've been doing for that. Because it works well with frogs, in my opinion.
Yes.
I've always liked Mind Crush for frogs for some reason.
No matter what, you win.
Yep. Yeah, so that's what I've been on Pokemon. I've been still going hardcore with Flareon and Buddies, which I will never give up on that. I think that's going to be my deck for a while because none of that stuff's going to rotate out for a little while.
Ors is coming out this Friday.
Oh, what?
Yeah, Omega Ruby and
It
Alpha.
is? I didn't even know that. Oh, my
This
God.
Friday.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I didn't even know that was coming out. Wow,
Same
time
day as
flies.
Smash Brothers for the Wii.
Omega Ruby for life.
Yeah, I know Smash Brothers is coming out. Yeah, Smash Brothers is coming out this week, too.
Same day.
Yeah.
Also, Hunger Games is coming out the same day. So.
Oh, my God, this week.
Pick your spots, man.
Pick your fandoms, everybody. All right, but I definitely have more to say about Quiforts when we get into the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. But let's move on now from what we've been playing to the actual talk of the days. Let's start with some Magic. All right, the only thing I have on the dock here is 3 decks that I thought were interesting. That white control deck, this is pretty much like the one I saw originally. It feels like it's only like a 2-card difference. So I want to start with that. There's a white-blue control deck. What I thought was cool about it is Suspension Field. For people who don't know what that is, it's an enchantment. When Suspension Field enters the battlefield, you may exile target creature with toughness 3 or greater. Until its Suspension Field leaves the field, that creature will be gone and it will return after that. It's 2. I totally forgot about this cheapo white spell card that's in fucking standard right now.
Yeah.
That's why I
Yeah.
think this deck exists, because of Suspension Field, Last Breath, and of course, Vanishing Light. That is my
It
whole
almost
thing.
it almost doesn't see. I feel like it almost doesn't see more play, simply because it's a worse version of a card that has existed pretty recently.
Yeah.
Journey to nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's completely worse Journey to Nowhere, which is really, really weird. But I mean, I guess I can understand. It's like that was a crazy powerful format, so they needed a much better answer then.
That
But,
was because Jason had that card just like control all the way.
Yeah, the format was just so fast too.
Oh yeah, of course,
But-
also the End Hostilities card. That too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, the field wipe. You gotta have your field wipe.
Yeah.
Suspension Field does answer anything problems pretty well. It'll hit Courser, it'll hit Rhino.
Yeah. Yeah.
It hits a pretty good amount of the field, and it'll it's interesting. I don't know how I feel about the true control decks right now. It's a mixed bag, certainly. I like the blue-white one more than the blue-black one, just because I hate the creatures that the blue-black one plays.
Yeah, you don't like
but
the Ancient Serpent thing and the.
I don't like that Ancient, and I don't like Prognostic Sphinx. I think they're both not
Yeah,
good cards.
Sphinx. I really think Sphinx is shitty. At least the Ancient can't be countered. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Yeah.
only thing I liked about it. I like the Sphinx. I totally agree with you. Like, what the fuck is a Sphinx? Get the shit out of here. Win condition my ass. At least the Volt thing is cool. You know?
Yeah, it's a win condition 20 turns from now. What's interesting, blue-black control might actually get a little better, though they'll still be playing the same annoying win cons, assumably, because there's just going to be a black board wipe in the next standard when Fate Reforged comes out because of Crux of Fate.
Yeah.
And that means you won't necessarily have to splash for Esper anymore just to get that good board wipe and stuff. You might be able to just keep it down to 2 colors, which is better for consistency.
Oh yes, always is always better when you have less colors. Makes things go a lot smoother.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I like this deck confirmed is Dig Through Time. That card is just good. I think it.
Oh, yeah.
Initially, I honestly didn't think initially it was that amazing, but you know what? It's actually pretty goddamn good. Looking at 7 cards is actually really good.
I'm always amazed. Anytime I see someone cast Dig, and they're just grabbing the cards for it, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, you're still getting more cards
You're
to look
still
at.
looking at more cards.
It's
Stop
the
drawing.
best.
Stop drawing and looking.
You literally have another hand to look at. It's like a weird fixed memory jar or something.
Yeah. So this is pretty much confirmed that if you're playing blue, you're playing this card.
Yeah, it's really strong.
Oh god, Delve is such a good mechanic.
Hmm.
So good.
It's the one they really have to be the most careful about too. Clearly, I mean, they've shown that they're willing to push the limit with these delve draw spells, but it is easily the most broken mechanic depending on what they stuck it on. like people are just making the theoretical jokes, like even just like what spells could they stick Delve on to make them broken? It's like, could you imagine? Could you imagine if Emrakul had Delve or
Oh
something?
my
Something
God.
Oh no.
like that. There's just like some shenanigans like that. Like they have to be really careful what they put Delve on. And I don't think Treasure Cruise is as overpowering as some people tend to give it. Tend to give it problems for, but it is certainly interesting. It has shaken up a lot of formats, which I think is which is really good. Even if the some people think the card might be arguably unbalanced.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much all I had to say about that deck. Next we got Golgari Constellation.
Yeah, there was a resurgence of this one too. Just like the green-black whip things in. Like basically this deck alone made like 2 of these cards in here. This one's more of the dredge one, which is interesting. But like a little more of the rocky, the regular rocky build, the one that plays like Pelucranos and Hornet Queen and stuff, have made the deck have made those cards like way expensive. Like Pelucranos who is in a dual deck is like $13 right now. And Hornet Queens are up to like $7 or something.
Oh yeah, Hornet Queen.
It's like it costs 7 mana, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God. What I thought was cool about this one is that it has Doomwake Giant.
Yeah, they'll definitely do that. Like sometimes you'll have like 2 Doomwake Giants, and then you'll get like 2 Constellation triggers, and you'll wipe like any single board in Standard. It's brutal. Card can get out of control so fast.
So cool. Murderous Cut is also a pretty good card.
Mm-hmm.
I
I personally am in the favor of Dead Drop. I think that card's really good, and I'm surprised it hasn't seen more constructed play. Obviously, it's a different story in Limited, but like Murderous Cut answers problems, which is great. But like Dead Drop will just like wreck games sometimes.
Oh yeah, I can believe it. I actually have no idea why people would choose Murderous Cut over Dead Drop, but maybe just because
Murderous Cut's it's a cheaper enough in this scenario. Plus, it's instant. Like if anything, you probably wouldn't want to toe the line with more than like 2 Dread Drops at most. So unless you're in a hardcore Dredge deck like Dredge, you'll probably maybe play 1 at most.
Yeah. Yeah, technically. I know. I do like Dead Drop because the whole point of just making players sacrifice things. That just feels better.
Yeah, it's pretty relevant too with like the Abzan deck has a lot of answers to things like Murderous Cut. They have Reaper of the Wilds, who is just obviously can become hexproof.
Oh,
and they have Fleeceman Lion, which is going to become hexproof and indestructible.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
So Dead Drop is a pretty good place to be right now.
Yeah. Even though it doesn't, I guess, because it costs more. Big whoop. But I do like it. I was thinking, I had it teched in mine. I only had 1 teched in mine. But I was thinking I'd jump it up to 2. One final thing about this Golgari thing. I like in the sideboard, it actually had Arbor Colossus.
Arbor Colossus?
Yes, that guy that I actually played for a little while.
It's such a good answer to monsters. It's unbelievable.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Like, Sarkhan can't get through it, Stormbreath can't get through it until he monstroses, and like the Arbor Colossus monstroses is faster and then just kills him.
Yeah, there you go. See, I didn't even think about that. I was wondering why it was in there.
And monsters is either red-green, in which case, like, sometimes maybe they can get off a big enough Crater's Claws to handle it, or they're Tamir, and Tamir has almost no answers for that. They have to hope, like, they can get their Heir of the Wilds to fight it or something, and that's still a 2-for-1.
Yeah, see, I didn't even think about that. That's why it's in here. All right, so you dropped some knowledge on me. I'm sitting here like, why the fuck is this here? I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's just a 50-cent rare when it's so good against, like, some of the titans of the format.
Wait, it's 50 cents right now?
Basically, yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't know it was that cheap.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Next we got what I called chefs, but apparently it's called sheaves or something.
Chiefs.
Sheaves.
Because of Chief of the Edge.
I called it chefs because it read the 2 guys that have chef in their name. So.
Yeah.
That's what I call it chef. That's what I call that. That's how I read it. So I'm calling the chef. That's my deck. I call it chef now. There you go. So says of me. I have a podcast, you know.
That's what was interesting about, like I was saying about this one. They're splashing green for basically like 1 card, Abzan Ascendancy, and it gives them like a much better late game in the form of like that's what I was having trouble with my Warriors deck is like sometimes you would just have such a hard time closing out game, even when you're got a board of like 6-1, 6-1s, 6-2s, or like whatever their actual bodies are due to all the anthems, like and like infinite ones because of Bloodsoaked Champion.
I was gonna say it's just a good combo with Bloodsoaked Champion.
Yeah, it's just like sometimes you could not get past whatever the stalemate was, and eventually they're gonna resolve something that is it just makes it impossible. Like I got Kiara alted twice and one against one
Really?
guy. I still beat him the one time, but like it happened 2 of our 3 games. Like it's so hard to close out sometimes against some of the decks in standard. It's like I was so prepared for answers in the form of things like board wipes that like I was having a hard time with problems that were like ways to stop me that weren't board wipes.
I like this deck because it reminds me a lot of what my old soldier deck used to be. You know, dropping these guys and power them up with your power up monsters, power up
Yeah.
creatures. I really like that.
And someone was pointing out too that if you're playing green and you're willing to play a little more of a dangerous mana base, like Painlands type stuff, you get access to Air of the Wilds, which is great for that kind of stuff.
Oh
I've been playing with him, and he's been really surprising me with how good he is. It's just like it's this bear that's sometimes also a 3/3, and it's just like there is almost no way for them to ever reasonably block this thing. Giving Death Touch to a bear is the best way to make it relevant for the entire game I've ever seen.
Giving Death Touch to anything is the best way to make it.
And there's
relevant.
like no first strike in this format at all, so like
Which
That's-
is horrible.
There is
I did
ankles.
have a guy Mardu charming me. That one was surprising.
Yeah. So what do you like
Because-
best about the? Oh, sorry. Go on.
Well, the Mardu charm makes 2 warriors who gain first strike until the end of the turn. So like that one was a little surprising. It was a pretty good trick against me, but other than that, like I can't think of anything in the format that really has first strike.
No, I think that's it. Just the charm that gives its first strike to things.
I mean, there's certainly creatures, but that's a matter of creatures who are being played. I
Yeah. Oh
don't
no,
know.
no. There's no good creatures. No. No. So what do you like about the warrior thing overall the most? Because I know you said you were playing a not this exact build, obviously.
Mhm. What I like is because they play things like Seeker of the Way, and I'm also trying around with Rush of Battle, which is like 4 mana warrior creatures you control get +2/1, and if they're warriors, they also gain lifelink.
Whoa, life
Between
is
its,
pretty
like,
powerful right
Between
now.
its 2-color mana base, Sorin Solemn, and Seeker of the Way, the card absolutely just steamrolls any other aggro. It gains so much life that like no other regular aggro deck can keep up with it most of the time. That's what I like about it, but it's not necessarily fast enough sometimes to close out games against some of the rock some of the
Yeah,
rock
because I'm
decks.
looking at least this build. I'm looking at it, I'm like, this isn't like to me. This doesn't seem super fast.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's more of a board presence deck.
Yeah, once you get Bloodstroke Champion is pretty cool. He is a cool card. I love these. I love Edge and Scale. They're so cool. It just reminds me of Armor Smith and Swordsmith so much.
Yeah, they're basically like 2 mana versions of that, but for warriors.
Yeah,
But harder to cast, you take the good with the bad.
yeah. I guess they're harder to cast. If you're just running black and white, I don't see the problem. But yeah,
Well, that means they're cheaper then, yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah. Whatever. Yeah, so those are the 3 decks I wanted to bring up. And there's a couple cards I wanted to talk about that I just, have been noticing how much I love them since I've been playing them for a couple weeks now. One thing I've loved the most is I love my Radiant Fountain. I've been love that card so much.
That's another advantage to 2-color decks is getting able to play that in refuge lands.
Yeah,
like
I
it.
love it so much. Like, I'm playing Thoughtseize, right? So I like Thoughtseize, Radiant Fountain. Like, I didn't lose anything. I just love it so much.
It's awesome. It's like then you can just play the 4 Thoughtseizes and not really care as much. You don't have to worry about mono X aggro really breaking you down because of that Thoughtseize.
Yeah, so I've just been digging that card a lot lately. So I'm gonna bring that up. And then also what I like is my the tomb thing. I think the Yawgmoth, whatever it's called. It just turns out addition to SWAT.
Tomb of Yawgmoth?
Yeah,
That's
that
always
makes
been a
everything-
broken card.
Yeah, always been real good. Yeah, I love that too. As you can tell, these 2 lands have been putting a lot of work for me when I've been playing my blue-black control. So I've loved them quite a bit. Just want to talk about them and give them some props. Yeah, so cool. I love those cards. That's pretty much all I want to say about that. That's all I want to say.
There's not a lot that's been happening. We're getting a little closer to when we're probably gonna start getting like a few holiday spoilers here and there.
Yep.
and we just got the commander deck, so we're like in between supplementary products too.
Yeah.
But right now
Those up.
we're having like the biggest legacy event ever at GP New Jersey or whatever. Like over 4,000 people who are
Wow.
attending and playing.
That's
legacy,
a lot of
right?
that's a lot of
Yeah.
money.
Someone's
That's
like,
a
in
lot
one
of
place.
cards. Yeah.
someone's
Yeah.
like, I can't believe there are even that many legacy players.
What?
So
What if?
yeah.
What if?
Uh,
I don't want this to happen, by the way. What if someone comes in there, pulls a fire alarm, turns off lights, starts grab some deck boxes? That's a lot
Yeah.
of money.
Yeah, a lot of people are like they know that it's clearly one of the places with the most money going around. A lot of people are really doubling up on protecting their stuff. I've seen a lot of measures like people talking about it.
No,
But,
I was.
just
yeah.
I was surprised too. Like over 4,000 attendance for Legacy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I've seen
Which
some
is- that's
How
info.
many?
probably about
How many copies are
$2,000.
there left of old legacy cards? Like it's 4,000 of them. I didn't think
Yeah.
that many, but
Well, a lot
apparently
of
there
people
are.
They were saying I was looking at a quick like some vendors were talking about like what kind of cards are going because of this event, and they're like actually a lot of Shocklands are going. Says people are like sort of budgeting up their decks a little bit. Shocklands, Stone Forges are going real fast. A couple other cards.
Ancient Tomb,
Ancient Tomb.
a staple in Legacy.
Yeah.
Any some of
certainly-
the Moxes probably, of course.
They're banned,
They
I believe.
they actually just got down to actually they just apparently Brian Braun Duin won the Grand Prix.
Really?
This happened between when we started the show and between
Yeah.
when we
Just now.
because
The
a little while
fight
ago
takes place between
a little
8
while
and
ago they had just top 8.
Wow.
So I guess America Delver takes it for the 4,000 person legacy
There
event.
you go. GG. I'm not surprised about this actually. I
And
mean,
despite
I
what-
literally everything I hear, people say, "Oh, they're just gonna play Delver." Like that's all I hear all the time.
There's only like in the top 16 overall. There's only like four
Are there any
Delver lists.
goblins? I see goblins are popular too.
This top 16, no. There's elves.
Oh well.
But-
Okay.
There's
Show
a-
and tell.
There's,
True name nemesis.
there's a Omnitel at 9th. But
Tell, that's good.
Despite people being really worried about the blue-red Delver deck, is it only showed up twice in top 16. So
Oh, there you
and
go.
like
My
certainly interesting. There's actually a rogue deck in the top 16 too. Something I've never seen before. A Grixis control deck, which I think it's made to be a meta buster, but like because it's probably made to be really strong against the new field of Delver that's going right now. Like they have mainboard Pyroblasts and stuff.
Oh,
so it's
shit,
like,
well,
well,
they-
I'm ready to counter Treasure Cruise.
yeah,
this
yeah.
from
But say, it looks like
basically-
you're ready to go there. Jeez.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are playing it right now. They're like, well, you gotta counter their Treasure Cruise, and it's
Yeah,
one mana.
anti-meta's
There you
always
go.
weird because if a good player can call what everything's gonna be and then just make a deck to face that, well then they should be pretty good.
Mhm.
I'm not surprised they made the top then.
Yeah, it's just like a surprise. This is literally the first showing I've ever seen of Dak Faden in Legacy.
Wow,
And
really?
they even got like mainboard Notion Thief and crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff. Holy shit.
Mhm.
The big thing of me I want to say right now, standard right now I feel is pretty diverse and pretty interesting.
Yeah, I
A
was
lot
just
of
thinking
different
about it the
things.
other day. There's like at least two good decks for each of the wedges, and then there's a bunch of and there's probably like three or four solid 2-color decks, and then there's still like 2 mono-color decks that are strong as well. So
Green and
I
blue.
would say that I would say that Abzan Junk is probably slightly the most powerful one. It clearly just has the most showings. It just has like the best card quality. Doesn't necessarily have the best game plan or anything. It just gets the best card quality for its 3 colors. But they're
Yeah.
all pretty close. I would say that Abzan only really edges out by a little bit, and not enough to just say play Abzan. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking Azban was the most popular thing I've seen. So even just when I'm facing people in RL, so just what
Yeah.
I've seen. So
It's just full of really strong cards. You don't even necessarily have to be like.
I think anything with white black is just really strong because Soren is just such a good planeswalker.
yeah, he's pretty good.
You
Especially when
you
you
don't-
got guys over here dropping a Johnny, making his ultimate go off pretty much. Like what the fuck, man?
it's just like those cards are really good. You know, you can't complain like
Yeah.
Fleece and Siege Rhino. It's just like it's good card quality. You don't even have to pull off any daring plays or be really out there. Just it plays good cards, and
Yep.
But I wouldn't say it's the best deck. I would just say that it's close to the deck with the most power.
Because we all know who the best planeswalker is at the end of the day.
Alright.
Yes. We all know that his crown will never be taken.
Well, no, absolutely not. There's no way.
I'll
But,
be on Jace's dick my whole life. Woohoo.
They actually said a little while back that
God damn it, Matt.
this might be because Jace is trapped on Ravnica now, but
Yeah.
Taniel might replace him as the blue planeswalker from now on.
You know, he's
Like the who comes back every year or so.
in terms of lore, you mean, or just like cards they make? I don't know what you mean.
Cards.
Okay. I was saying for lore, I have no idea. Is Jace like? I don't even follow lore. I thought he was like dead or something. I don't know.
No.
The newest card is like Jace the Guild Pact. Basically, he is the Guild Pact on Ravnica, so his job is keeping the peace. So he can't leave Ravnica anymore.
All right, cool. Lame. I liked it better when he was sculpting mines. Yeah, so Magic's I like it overall because there's a lot of diverse things, and it's kind of a powerful format again. Like you said, like card quality is just so good.
Yeah. I definitely am preferring this to the Theros standard, where there are the two mono X, the two devotion titans, and then like a bunch of other decks just trying to hope they can beat them.
Yeah. As much as as much as I definitely think standard was kept boring in Theros, I will say I still feel it brought so many people back into Magic, like the mythology and everything. Like even just bringing casuals in, they probably got so many fucking people back into it.
There
was a Trojan horse artifact that I fucking loved. It created fucking tokens in the enemy's base. That is so cool. Come on.
Yeah, it was.
No one would ever play that shit, but it was cool as fuck.
I got that card in limited like a good number of times. I was never sure if this card like does this card actually work or not.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
In limited too, I was just like, I don't know. I don't know, man.
I love it.
What if they suit up the Trojan horse then? Am I in trouble?
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh man. So that's Magic. So let's move on to some Yu-Gi-Oh, which we got. Oh my god, a lot. Everything I have in here is not even like everything, but I have a couple things.
It's been a crazy week.
Yeah, we got spoilers for the new set. Fucking a new set came out. We got the new Noble Knights, new Synchron Extreme stuff, Elemental Hero stuff, ARGs happened. Like fuck, man, Yu-Gi-Oh just went on fucking overhaul. Like so much shit happened.
Well, it's getting serious now, Matt.
It is. First thing I have on the dock here is the Noble Knight, the last Noble Knight. If you guys don't know, he's a Light Warrior monster, level 4, 1600 attack, 1500 defense. When this card is normal summon or special summon, you can send one Noble Arms equipped spell from your deck to the graveyard. During either player's turn, you can target one Noble Arms equipped spell and one appropriate monster on the field. Equip that equipped spell card to the appropriate monster. The effect can only be used once while this card is face up on the field.
They got the searcher for the equips they needed.
Yes, that is honestly what they've always fucking needed. Now that we've got 3 reinforcements, we've got this guy. That's fucking good. They can find maybe now someone can make something to be relatively good.
That can be relevant. Noble Knight people rejoice.
It could be, yes. So I like that. They needed that searcher so by hardcore. And he can equip things too, which you know. Appropriate monsters, mind you. Not inappropriate monsters, but appropriate.
Yeah, not like your worm type monsters.
Yeah.
Oh, worms.
Yes.
ARG.
Yeah, let's talk about ARG. So I did not see the finals. So what won?
I didn't get to see the finals myself.
I will Google it now while you talk about what we've seen. Well, what changes came from for sure. Like fucking creature swap is for sure.
Creature swap is the truth. It's legit. People collect them. It's an out to problems. People don't play lances anymore. It's an out.
Yeah, apparently people don't.
Like, what are you gonna do with a lance? It does nothing to quit drops.
It does nothing. That's true.
It does nothing to Burning Abyss. Oh, you're stronger than Armonic? Guess what? There's another one. Shaddolls? You want to hit them with a lance? Are you serious? You want Shaddol monsters to die? Okay, go right ahead. I have no problem with that whatsoever. And against Telenice, the monster will be back in like a turn. In fact, it might even come back that same turn because triple Call the Hornet's a thing. Actually, 4 Call the Hornets. 3 Call the Hornets along with 1 Oasis of Dragon Springs.
From what I quickly Google search here, apparently Burning Abyss was number 1 of the top 16.
It beat Quit Drops again. Well, and it wasn't Patrick Hoban this time. No
More into
one
this,
has.
it's Anthony Eroff. Eroff.
That's not how you spell Patrick Hoban. So yeah, no excuses.
Yes. Now that was a
What?
quick Google search. And hopefully that is correct because they don't have these things numbered. They just have at the top and then his deck list. So I assume that means he came in first. So
Here, I'll check my whatchamacallit.
yeah. So yeah, and then apparently in the top 4 Quifflofts made it. 1, 2.
Yeah, 2
3,
Quit
4.
Offs and 2 Burning Abyss.
Yeah, that's just okay. So this list is correct. It is on their site, so I hope it's correct. Burning Abyss
Yeah.
one. I would like to think it's because maybe Quifflofts are still relatively new. I guess I don't know, and people are just playing good against them. Because I don't really see why they should have lost, but I don't know. Burning Abyss has like a really strong trap lineup, and they could do things.
Yeah, they have a strong trap lineup. They
The
don't.
Karma
need
Cut
their
is very good.
It's a very good card. They don't need their card. They don't need their monster effects on the field really. So Scourge doesn't hurt them that much. I mean, Dante still sends. Also, Lake of the Burning Abyss. You get rid of
Oh, that's true.
everything.
That's true. And
Like,
plus,
you
honestly, if you shut down the scout or shut down that scout pretty early, they're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah, if you shut down Scout pretty early, they're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah,
You are correct, Mr. Matthew.
if they're not searching out what they need, they could draw a shitty hand. I still think it's like an OTK type of deck for sure because I don't know. They have other options. Those guys are pretty big, but
It's like machine heretics.
actually,
like it literally is machine heretics.
yeah.
High level monsters, skill drain. main. I'm not seeing a difference here.
Yep.
And they use the extra deck a lot. Now, I admit that it's not the same extra deck, but inherent everywhere.
Everywhere. I'm just checking out the lists. Yeah, pretty standard stuff.
Yeah.
I love that. I love people are playing the beginning of the end now so much.
Hey, you want to draw cards?
Yeah, a lot of other these ones didn't make it in the top 16, but other deck lists I saw, some people were trying to play rank up Magic in Burning Abyss.
Yeah, with the Cryonaut anomaly.
Yeah,
and
Anomaly
freaking
guys. Yeah.
Number 69.
So I'm guessing
And
that's not very viable because none of those made it. That don't seem like any of those builds made it into the top 16 from what I'm seeing here.
It's just funny.
Yeah, I guess so. You guys should have did that beginning of the end. Ha ha ha. Yeah,
Evil,
man. Burning Abyss seemed to still be the number one thing for TCG right now.
Yep.
Because it kind of makes sense because in the OCG they didn't have Burning Abyss like the Quifflof players over there. They weren't building their decks or worrying about that because it was TCG exclusive stuff. So it kind of makes sense that it performs. At least that people who were training with Quifflofts before they came out in the TCG, they probably were having a better time because they didn't have to face TCG stuff and maybe it was hard time facing people with that stuff. I don't know, but just makes sense. But I think that will change soon. I'm pretty sure that they'll be the number one deck. And then the other fucking ritual guys are going to come out, and then things are going to change again.
The coming of the Necross is upon us.
Yeah. God,
Repent,
I
my
honestly
brother.
don't see how that deck could lose. It's so consistent. They're
Repent,
bringing
my brother,
it.
repent.
You have the ability to drop a Trishula every turn. Like, I don't under. Obviously, you don't want to do turn 0 because they need to have something in the hand, field, and graveyard to do anything, but at least that's how it's ruled. Is that how it's going to be ruled, you think, for sure?
I believe so.
Because that's how it is on the simulation programs right now, so I assume that's how it's going to be.
Huh, no glow bulb in here. I'm dumb.
Yeah, no Globe Bowl. Actually, that's a good segue. So, Globe Bowl.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Nothing at all happened.
Nothing at all happened.
People thought it was going to be the second coming of Creased. People were going to hop on that glow
Yeah.
bulb.
Not even like Quasar decks. I thought they would, after a week or two, they jump up, but nope. No one wants to try that shit.
No one wants to try new things, Matt. Where have you been?
Yeah, Quasar is debatably not even a new thing. Fucking, they have more consistency now. Fuck, man. What is it? Shadalls. People are still playing that dumb little puppy thing, right?
Yeah.
Why don't they do
Glow
Global? That just makes more sense to me.
Because the keeps coming back, and it makes Construct versus just just making the Earth one.
Yeah,
Now, the Earth one
but the
is-
puppy's a dead draw.
Oh, this guy summoned fucking tower.
At least if you draw a Global, you can do something with it, and it's a tuner. Just saying. That's my view on it. I say, why don't you rock the global? That's
Why
me.
don't you rock global, baby? Rock,
Yeah.
rock,
Rock the global, baby. Next thing I have here on my list is Yukio Synchron Extreme. Jet Warrior and Jet Synchron were revealed.
Yep.
So Jet Synchron is a fire level 1 machine tuner effect monster. You can only use one Jet Synchron effect per turn, and only once that turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard as a synchro material, you can add one junk monster from your deck to your hand. 2. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this card from your graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. That's not a bad card in my opinion, actually. Not too bad. It's pretty versatile. Man, all I can see is that when they come out with more synchron monsters and junk monsters, all I can see is just there's more potentially good tuners that you could abuse to make like Quasars. That's the way I look at it all the time. I like that he's fire, believe it or not. That could open the door to a lot of things. I don't know what. I don't think there's any synchros that. Let's see. No, there's got to be some, obviously. Are there any synchros that benefit from just having fire attribute monsters? I only think there's only 2 fire synchros, isn't there?
Yeah. Actually, no. Actually, that's a very good question, Mr. Matt. Mr. Man.
Synchro type. I'm just gonna assume that.
Nitro Warrior. Lavalvo monsters.
Pretty much, they all require fire.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of from the top of my head.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. That Anthony Dude one. Oh, hooray. Oh.
Yeah, I'm looking right here. It looks like Larval monsters are the big ones.
Yeah.
Trident Dragon's Fire. I totally forgot about that. Oh, Ancient Flamevel Deity. Hey, I remember that guy. I used to rock him, but he requires also a Pyro as well.
Yeah. Pyros aren't. Not all fires are pyro, but all pyros are fire. Ha
Yeah.
da 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 da.
Then we got Jet Warrior.
Which looks pretty coolio.
Right here. Oh, there you go. I forgot he was a fire. Fire, level 5. Warrior Synchro effect. He requires one Jet Synchron, so specifically the last guy we talked about, and then one non-tuner monster. You can only use the effect of Jet Warrior once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, you can target one card your opponent controls. Return it to the hand. Ooh. I do like that. That's a level 5. Okay, he's not generic level 5, but it's a level 5 that can return something to hand.
But it requires just one, not one or more?
Requires one. Okay, yeah, one or more. Sorry.
That's very important. Oh my god. I was about to go like, how do you make him?
If this card is in your graveyard, you contribute one level 2 or lower monster. Special summon this card from your graveyard in defense position, but banish it when it leaves the field. That's very interesting.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, bringing them back to then once again XYZ or maybe even Synchro again with him. That's not too bad. And I do like that he returns. Let's see. Okay, well, one. So this actually definitely gives a boost to Synchron decks, really. But nothing like too amazingly broken. I definitely think that's interesting, though. 2100 attack, 1200 defense. Stats are minuscule. Next, new Crystal Beast cards were revealed spoiled for the.
We're not getting into this. Not even do it. Nope. Not hear it. La 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 la. Listening. La 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 la.
Come on, Chris. Pendulum Crystal Beast monsters. Come on, they're amazing.
Fine, they exist.
Crystal Vanguard, level 3 Dark Spellcaster Pendulum effect monster. Attack 1300, defense 1000. Pendulum scale 5. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. So his if I'm reading this correctly, his monster effect. No wait, pendulum E. No, that means he's that. No. PE is its pendulum. That means it's an effect monster effect, correct?
Pet is his pendulum. Met is his monster.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. So his pendulum effect is Crystal Beast monsters, Rainbow Dragon, and Rainbow Dark Dragon cannot be targeted by opponent's effects. Oh my god.
Well, that makes attacking with a Rainbow Dragon absolutely safe.
Dude, that's really good. That's really good. His magic effect. Oh, god damn it. His monster effect. God damn it. I get so confused. The other one.
The brown effect.
The monster effect. Tribute this card. Add one Rainbow Dragon, Rainbow Dark Dragon, Crystal Beast monster, or Crystal Spell or Trap card from your deck to your hand.
Searcher.
A searcher.
What? They need a searcher.
They do. Wow, this is
I realize it can't grab rare value. Never mind. Worthless. Bad. Do.
This card, in my opinion, is fucking amazing.
I know.
I don't even care if you're like, God, because Crystal
I don't
Beast.
even care anymore. This card is effing. Forget it. Effing. Forget it.
This is a really good card. Level 3, fucking Pendulum Scale 5, and then we got the other guy who's Pendulum Scale 2. So 2, 3, 4, 5.
So you can bring out just any Crystal Beast.
But yeah. Wow, this is going to be a significant boost for... here's the thing. Pendulum Monsters, this is like a very good example we'll see in the future. Like, if this archetype is going to get this kind of support through Pendulum Monsters, that's pretty amazing. Like, can you imagine other types that could come back and get even more? Like, how about aliens?
Amazons?
Amazons could get something like this is a
aliens do need something though. You are completely correct.
Yeah, like, oh my god, this is really interesting, and this pendulum monster is so goddamn good. Wow. Crystal Beasts, I would debate, are still okay. Well, they're not very. I don't think they would hold up, but they're still good, and then having this kind of support lets them be able to compete again. Adding that consistency factor, in addition to like, oh my god, like a rainbow dragon that can't be targeted. Oh my god. Next, you just want to tell me that it can't be affected by card effects at the same time. That would be fucking nuts. Then that's not even that. Here's the other guy, the Crystal Defender. He's a Pendulum Scale 2, 1500 attack, defense, 1800 defense. He's a Warrior type Pendulum Fire monster. As a Pendulum effect is once per turn, Crystal Beast monsters, Rainbow Dragon, or Rainbow Dark Range cannot be destroyed by card effects. So not only cannot be targeted, he cannot be destroyed. That's pretty good. This is a monster effect. During damage calculations, when a Crystal Beast monster you control battles, you can tribute this card in your hand or that you control. Okay. Your monster's attack and defense double during that damage calculation. And after the damage step, the monster is destroyed.
Hooray.
That was really the Crystal Beast, so that's not a negative of being destroyed. But
it's not bad. It's pretty good.
That's not that bad. No, it's not too bad.
Not too bad. I could probably use it for something.
Yeah, that's pretty nice though.
Pretty nice. I could use it for my stuff.
Yeah. I definitely like the other guy better, but I definitely want to keep these guys in your pendulum zones.
Crystal Beast.
Crystal Beasts are getting really good. I actually think this will be really good. Next, I got a new quick play spell card. Over the rainbow. Over the rainbow. Okay.
Yes.
As the first time I'm reading the spell and trap cards. During the turn in which a monster who is printed original name is Rainbow Dragon. Wow, they're getting really specific in the way they're going to word their texts in the future now, huh? This could be translation though. Horror Rainbow Dark Dragon activates the effect. You can special summon any number of Crystal Beast monsters with different names up to 1 each from your deck.
So you spam the field.
Yeah, it's a free spam card. Quick play.
Hooray.
Well, if you already have Rainbow Dragon on the field, I guess this kind of comes off to me as a win more card, but whatever. That seems really nice. Crystal Gathering, continuous trap card. This card is 1 and 2 effects can't be activated on the same chain. Thank you. Once per turn, if a face-up... That actually is important. Continuous trap cards, that does matter, believe it or not. Once per turn, if a face-up Crystal Beast monster is destroyed by battle or card effects, summon 1 Crystal Beast monster from your deck. Oh, that's nice. Send this card to your spell or trap card zone to the graveyard. Target 1 Crystal Beast monster card on the field. Return it to those targets to your hand. Wow, this is all some pretty solid support they're getting.
Yep.
Holy shit, they're getting some nice consistency out of this.
Usually the OCG support that is labeled after 80 is really, really good for things.
Like these pendulum guys are the biggest because being able to search out stuff is very important because they never had anything like that. Hell, spell and trap searching out, that's great.
The only thing that actually searched out for them was the Sapphire Pegasus. That was it, and even then, that just put it in the Crystal Beast zone. Nothing really searched out. They had draw cards, but that was about it.
Yeah. And think about it. You could search out the Pegasus, then play the Pegasus, and then fucking, that could be pretty good. Well, actually, no, because if you're gonna, well, no, honestly, if you left it out there for a turn, because obviously if you're doing its normal summon, then that's not gonna work. But man, they get some solid support. The biggest thing I take from this is that if they're giving, like I said earlier, if they're giving this support to Crystal Beast, who knows how much fucking other things are gonna support. Fuck, like look at I don't think Kawaki Mero is gonna get any type of support, but like aliens, I think aliens could get a lot of benefit from like a pendulum type of upgrade, because they have a very interesting game mechanic with the whole with like AA counters, and some of them would depend on the position where you are in the mat, because you can get some kind of pendulum stuff, and that would be really interesting. Let's see. We also got a bunch of other spoilers for the next set coming out.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff in there, like Crystal Beast stuff, obviously.
I like the fact that they just really over-supported Quitrops in this one. It's making me feel kind of, sick.
Yeah. Well,
they did not need a super rejuvenation, or a change of heart, or a burn card. Life gain burn. They have life gain, so we found a counter to them in in like burn cards, but now they have life gain and burn back to us. It's like they literally just went like, oh, you have something against us? Guess what? You thought you did, you do not.
Yeah, now you do not.
And then the Evangelion theme song plays.
That's true though. Like, well, Konami wants their shit to sell, man. If it's it might as well give the players that are not as good at getting
might as
playing
well
around
just
that
tell
stuff.
me I can't believe in love. Might as well just tell me I can't believe in a fair game. You thought Dragons was bad? At least Dragons gave you a turn.
But then they had they have at least they gave you a turn.
You used the bathroom sitting down. Quitrops did a lot of things that Dragons didn't do.
That's
horrible. So horrible. Played against it. It's called unfair deck. Rabble, 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 rabble.
Rabble, rabble.
At the same time, Burning Abyss, an American-made team.
We thought karate was just.
We thought karate was an American-made thing. No. All right, but Burning Abyss. Are you saying that like the stuff that is designed by America is more inherently fair? Is that what you're trying to say?
Somewhat.
Well, I think this goes back to the whole debate on, I think that we need to move to a internal type of format. Because what's going to keep happening, Chris? They're going to have to keep power creep. It's going to keep on happening. Yeah, we got a little bit of slowdown because now pendulums are going to take over, and they're going to be the new powerful thing eventually. But I think it might be time, man. Time for an internal format. For time to change it up. Change it up. They could do it, man. They've been experimenting. I think their set designing is getting a little better. If you look at the battle packs, they've been getting better at designing sets for like a core set type of scenario. So I think they could do it. And then they could still do their archetype thing. Like, here's what they do. They have a core set, and then they make their cool new archetypes every time now. And they can still do this. I think that's what we need to be, Chris. But then again, I'm the guy who's crazy, because that's the one thing that makes Yu-Gi-Oh! Unique, apparently. The whole ban list thing.
Crazy. Stop thinking you're crazy. You're perfectly sane.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome, my friend.
Yes. But what do you think about that whole idea? Because as you can see now, things are just getting... I'm not going to say they're getting worse. It's just power creep's going to happen. And eventually people aren't... Yeah, we still got those guys that are going to drop 350 for the new shit. But that's not a long-term business plan sustainable thing. Like Walter, if like you said, if you look at like Magic, they're afraid to reprint shit in Legacy because they're afraid how it's going to mess up the market and the balance of things. If Wizards cares that much, Yu-Gi-Oh! They fucking reprint things every 5 seconds, for God's sakes, which is good and bad.
The whole reason Modern Masters was apparently a limited print run is because they wanted to protect investor interest, the people who got cards for the value.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Modern Masters wasn't just everywhere, and that's why it was $7 a pack to begin with. So
yeah,
they try to keep those in mind. Though honestly, I am wondering like what could really be the downside of at least them trying an eternal format beyond like maybe some weird market fluctuations. It's like what could be the downside of them trying for it? If they decide it doesn't work, they can either maybe take time, try to ban out things that I think are really bad for the format, or I mean they really could always just can it,
Yeah, and the only valid defenses I've honestly heard, other than the whole Yu-Gi-Oh! That's Yu-Gi-Oh's thing, having a ban list and stuff like that, and the idea that you literally can play anything, which is nice and all, but if you really look at it, the meta does not let you play whatever you want. I'm still trying to play frogs. I do agree I'm holding up pretty well, but someone try to play aliens. I keep going back to Aliens, but try to play Aliens. Just try it. You cannot play whatever you want because the power creep is too much. It's not. It's a false lie that you can play whatever you want.
Hell, you can't even play tellers in this format, really.
Yeah, we've got 3. Oh, in what world, having 3 emergency teleports, can you not make fucking like psychic something or any like fuck? We can even. Yeah, we don't have fucking like what's his name? Disc Commander.
We're in a world where Magician of Faith is, I believe, at 2, and we can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
We're in a world where Tsukiyomi came back, and we have a bunch of flip effect monsters, and it's nowhere with the same type and attribute even. Tsukiyomi is a dark spellcaster. Every single Sadal normal non-fusion monster is a dark spellcaster, yet they're doing nothing with her. She's fusion material, she's synchro material, she's a level 4 for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And doing nothing with her.
Yeah. So that whole thing
power
that
creep
you
is.
can play what you want, I don't feel is valid. So beyond those 2 things, and in the other excuse is that, well, my value, my cards would go away. Well, no, they wouldn't, because if they do it right, yeah, your old cards would filter out, but this is the thing they got. They could do the core set thing and bring cards back, and then your old cards that are super valuable and old and ultra rare, and before they did the whole changing of the game state,
No, the wishy-washy.
they'll be worth even more because now when they reprint things, your cards will be back to be used again. So your initial investment of all the old cards are still your money's still there. It's not like it went away. Of course, if they fuck it up and say, well, we're just gonna start from square one and not make any reprint any of the cards, like we're just make a new Sangan and just pretend Sangan doesn't exist. Like yeah, but but that would be dumb on their part. I do agree. Maybe I'm putting too much trust in Konami that they'll do it right. But there's some of the card games like Magic they could get referred to, and they have been getting some practice with the battle packs. And you know what? I think the battle packs, the last one, was designed pretty well for like if you think of it as a core set or a draft type of scenario. I don't think the first one was perfect, but the second one was better, and then the third one I think is like a really good job. So I think we're at that point where you need to have an eternal format and then a standard type rotation format, and then you could hold 2 of it. And you know what? Look at YCS, they're already doing like you don't even. Top 8 and 16. They don't even play with their constructed decks anymore. So what the fuck,
It's top 16.
Top 16. Yeah, they don't even play with their constructed decks anymore. So how about that? How about fucking that, Konami? Since you like doing that, do your nice little new standard format all the way up to top 16, and then from there you could just go, hey, now top 16, play in the eternal format. And then people could play whatever broken shit they want, Or hell, how about that? The eternal format would just go back to the old ban list style, and they would just keep updating for both formats. So they could keep it the same way they have now for the eternal and still show support for it by making the top 16 the eternal format and then make the new standard thing all the way up to the beginning. I think that would be a great way to actually introduce the new way to do it.
Comment, Matt. You need to stop drinking that happy juice.
No, Chris, do you think that would be a viable way to introduce it? Because then people could still play the Yu-Gi-Oh! They're playing now in top 16 at YCS's. And they could still play that at their locals and stuff. And then you just introduce the new standard type of format for the early tournaments. I think that'd be a great way to do it. Right now, they're already doing where they're 2 different type of formats you play. ARG doesn't do that, but that's their own thing. That's a separate thing.
They don't do it because people don't like it. The people that have to do it don't like it.
Well,
Well,
do you think that would go over at all? My idea, like, is it better than what it is now?
Yes, it is better.
Okay. Well, I don't mean in game state wise. I mean like in tournament structure wise. I think that would work out well.
I personally think that the tournament structure of Konami is kind of weird.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just really wacky.
Yeah. So that's
Wacky for no reason.
So yeah, am I nuts at all, Chris? Like, what do you think? Eternal format. What do you think? Too early still? Should we wait till it gets even more worse?
I would give it a little bit more time, but you're not nuts. You're not crazy, if that's what you're thinking.
Yes, that's exactly what I was
had
thinking.
A little bit too much happy juice.
Happy juice.
Happy juice.
Happy juice. I think that would be the best thing for Yuka overall. Because they could do it, man. You could make a new... then it could be... Each format could be as broke as it wants. Because you wouldn't have to... everyone would be equal. Because it would be a stand format where they could design archetypes and stuff off to, to be equal with each other. So that it comes down to who is the better player and everything like that. And it could still work with the anime because you just designed the standard format to what's going on in the anime. So there you go. It could still work, is what I'm saying.
They did that with Infernities and Dragons. Do you remember when when it was 5D's format? They did that. That was 5D's format.
There you go. See? And they have
And
some
look what
history
happened there.
It was pretty interesting from what I remember.
Become the path of Black Giant Pond.
The dragons was yeah. The 5 ancient dragons.
Yep.
I know what they call it. What I forgot what they was like. What was an S word? Cyan dragons. What the fuck?
Signers.
Yeah, there was a Signers dragon. That's what I remember. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Just me. So that was my little rant on that. Yeah, that was a side thing. Quiforts and elemental heroes.
Yep.
Yeah. Quiforts. All right, so these guys, really quickly. I think they're definitely broken as fuck.
They're unfair, the card.
Yeah, but I still think they have the inherent problem like all pendulums do. They just spew out their whole hand so quickly. So once they go, granted, most of the time when they do that, they're going to win. But if they spew out everything and you survive, they most likely don't have any more resources. So if you deal with what they have on the field, you can come back and win like that. That's the biggest problem I have with them. I mean, that's their biggest flaw. And also if you stop a scout early, in my opinion. Because if they get a shitty hand, which happens quite often in Yu-Gi-Oh!, they can't really search out the pieces they need. But overall, that it's super. As much as I say these are problems, they're almost not problems because they're super consistent as fuck, and they're so fast. It's gonna be a rough time.
It's gonna be a time, good sir.
Yes. The last thing I have on here is Elemental Hero Core. The thing that I wanted to bring up about this guy, it requires 3 Elemental Hero monsters.
That's a lot.
Cool.
That is the first Elemental Hero fusion that requires 3.
Oh wait, no, that was a Vision Hero. Never mind. Yes, it is the first Elemental Hero fusion monster requires 3. Well, actually, if you really want to like pick hairs on this one, there's also Shining Flare Wingman, which takes Sparkman and Flame Wingman, and Flame Wingman himself is a fusion monster that takes 2.
Oh,
Then
okay.
again, you can always make Shining Flare Wingman with a substitute in Sparkman. So yeah, it takes the first E hero that requires for 3. You are correct.
Yeah, in terms of the standard Yu-Gi-Oh game mechanics. But yeah, the other one kind of counts. You need to make a fusion just to fucking make it, so you devote more resources.
I heard you like fusion, so they decided to put a fusion. They decided to make a fusion where you needed a fusion to fusion together with a fusion match kit.
Oh, apparently Tempest requires 2, 3.
Yeah.
I don't. Who's
requires
Tempest?
3.
Who the hell is Tempest?
Oh, Bubbleman, Sparkman, Featherman. He requires 3.
Oh, never mind then. I am wrong.
Yeah, the 28 attacker that had the subpar effect. You're right.
Never mind. I don't even know who Tempest was, so there you go.
I totally forgot.
Yep, I didn't even know it existed, so there you go. I was wrong. So anyways,
Yeah.
this guy must be fusion summoned, cannot be summoned other ways. Once per turn, you can target. When this card is targeted for attack, you can make this card's attack become double its current attack until the end of the damage step. At the end of the battle phase, if this card attacked or was attacked, you can target 1 monster in the field. Destroy it. When this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target 1 level 8 or lower elemental hero fusion monster in your graveyard. Special summon, ignoring its summoning conditions.
Win.
That is a very solid fusion monster, I will say.
But it's gonna take a lot, to get him on the field.
I do agree 3 monsters is quite a bit of a resource commitment. But with heroes coming up and they're getting even more powerful, he could definitely, I don't know, the extra deck's pretty tight, but he might be worth it at a 1 of. I don't really know what he does to help solve your problems, but pretty powerful. 27, double it, make a massive beat stick. That's about all I could think of it.
Then destroy a monster if they block.
Yeah, it's not too
Yeah.
bad. I don't know. I just think it's interesting that it requires 3. Making him not as powerful as I thought he would be.
Block, what am I talking about?
Yeah.
Who attack
So those are all the
monsters?
things I had on the docket. My final thoughts on just the format right now is, Burning Abyss, apparently, winning ARG. I guess it's still pretty good, the best right now. I think that's still due more to, Quiforts are new. It's just maybe, obviously the showing of it must have been high if Quiforts made it to the top 4.
There were apparently only 20 Clifforts.
Really? Wasn't that event like 1,000 something?
Yeah, I'm looking at the breakdown now. There was a lot of other.
Those were that rogue.
Homebrew.
Oh, that
Yeah.
rogue.
All that homebrew.
Would you call Quiforts with ground collapse homebrew?
That would be funny.
I played that during the pre-show. He ran ground collapse, and he activated it on me.
They ran ground collapse?
Yes, the Quifort player ran ground collapse that I was facing.
I don't know what to think anymore.
That was interesting. First time I seen that. Never saw any OCG player play that. Not gonna lie. Then again, he didn't know how pendulums worked, so I'm guessing he was just new to the game.
Yeah.
He forgot he had advantage emptiness on the field, and his pendulum scale was 1 to 1, so he couldn't really summon anything. But he tried to, so yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, what number is between 1 and 1?
None.
1.
Yeah, so
No.
Burning Abyss seems to still be the best in the TCG. I do think it's pretty powerful, though the tuner definitely gave it support. And Dante, was pretty cool.
And Virgil.
Oh yes, of course Virgil, yeah, that new synchro,
the
yeah.
rock star of the Burning Abyss.
Yep. Some of the builds I've seen have been all over the place, but in my opinion, if it says Burning Abyss in the name, you should run 3 of them. All of them. That's my opinion. Run 3 copies of each.
That's dangerous thinking.
I know it is, but that's the way I roll, baby. I also tried that cutesy rag up magic, but hey, that's just me.
Break up magazines are cute. You are correct.
Yes. Yeah, so Burning Abyss, watch out for that. And Satella Knights are still there. I like the burn aspect of it because you still have Satella Knights, but then you can handle the core forts a lot easier.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool, man.
Yeah. And Shaddolls, I don't know. They might be... I haven't seen much showing of them, but I don't see why they'd go away immediately just yet. Maybe it's just because that super polymerization, it was just so much, and then core forts are just so, OTK heavy. I don't know. And they need their effects, too. Debatably, everything needs effects. So that's pretty rough to get over for them. Yeah, that's about it. Like, rather than that, it's just kind of rogue everywhere. I saw that Kwaki Meru made it top 8 in a freaking... I don't know. It was one of those tournaments. It was an M word. I don't remember. But apparently that was still doing something. But I don't know if that was more for like the meta at that. I think it was a European tournament. That's why.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was more just because the meta that was going on there. Yeah. Oh yeah, my final. Oh yeah, I forgot this completely too. Before we move on, unless you have something to say more, Chris. Caius the Mega Monarch. He did honestly. He does exactly what we wanted him to do.
Yeah.
Banish 2 things. So good. So good. And then his additional effect is really good too. I'm going to actually just search it up real quick because I want to read the exact text. The additional effect is really good. Okay, so the way it works, that when you obviously you could shoot summon him with a tribute summon monster. If this card is tribute summon, target 1 card in the field. Also, if this card is tribute summon by tributing a dark monster, you could target 1 additional card in the field. Banish those targets. Now, here's the part that happens even if you don't get the additional target. And if you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent if the targets was a dark monster. Then banish all copies of that dark monster from either controller's hand, main deck, extra deck, and graveyard. So even if you don't tribute with a dark monster and you hit a dark monster, you're still doing 1,000 damage. And if it was a dark monster, you're okay to get rid of all copies of it.
Hi, Shaddolls.
Yeah, that is really fucking good.
Also, fun fact, use their Shaddol monster with Storm Force. Tribute their beast with Storm Force. Bring that out. Get rid of every other copy of whatever you want.
So
Get rid
good.
of windows. Get rid of all their Shaddol, anything.
It's really good. It's just honestly what we expected. We expected him to be the best, and he is. Although
Yeah.
I really like Ryza though as well. So that's a card. I might be dropping my Mobius for him for my frog deck. We'll see. We'll see. All right, that's
Yeah.
pretty much everything I have on my list. Anything that you wanted to say there, Chris, before we move on to some Pokemans?
Oh, no. You did beautifully, Matthew.
Oh, yes, thank you. So move on to Pokemon.
Yeah.
First, kind of like a PSA thing. Pokemon Online finally added the expanded format to their system. So now you can actually play the expanded format. Guess what everyone's playing? Rayquaza, Electrite.
Electric, yeah.
No surprise there.
No,
I think that deck is...
that is a broken combo right there. I believe Electric lets you like take 2 electric energy from your discard pile and put it on. one of your
it
Pokemon.
does 1, but people run 4, so...
Yeah, so you can do it from the bench anyway.
Yeah.
And it requires that the text says you can discard any electric and fire energy attached to this Pokemon to
60 times 60.
Yes.
Yeah.
And pretty much just 180 to everything is what this deck does.
Yeah.
Every turn.
So that is a viable deck for the expanded format when you're going to tournaments, guys. For you guys
There's
who don't know,
you could. I think there is one. There's a couple of combo things you can do against it. Landorus is a thing. Landorus EX. He is the best defense against electric.
Yeah, honestly, it is the best time for this thing to exist because even the expanded format, at the time when this deck was super popular, Catcher wasn't a coin flip. Now Catcher is a coin flip. So right now, like you said, unless you're doing something that hits the bench or you're using your Lysander, you're gonna have a hard time taking out things. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Liquaz is broken as fuck.
Yeah.
The only thing that can really, there's nothing much that you can really do to
you gotta take out the Electrites. It's the only thing. Or if you can do enough damage to Rayquaza, of course you could do that. But
that as well, yes.
That's, they're usually gonna retreat. That's why they got Rush in. The fucking Kyoto.
That's why they have Float Stone.
And they've got Float Stone as well. Yep. So that's updated for you guys who don't know. Expand format is a thing they introduced not super long ago, but I think 3 to 4 months ago. At tournaments now, you play the first day as the standard format, and then it opens up the second and third day to the expanded format. So now that they finally added it on Pokemon Online, you can now practice and train up for that as well.
Hooray!
Yay. So that is a PSA news type of announcement that needed to be said. Next, the only thing I have on here that I really wanted to talk about was updated Donphan Tech.
It's updated by it.
Well. We have quite a few things that was added and that came out. Like, all the builds I've seen now, that everyone is running that goddamn Wobbuffet.
Okay, I knew that was coming.
That Wobbuffet. And people are actually running Sliggeriff with the Safeguard as well.
I knew that was coming as well.
Yeah, well, they were doing that quarter before, but it wasn't like a standard thing. But that Wobbuffet, oh my goodness. So good. And they also been running the Robo Substitute. So pretty much it is in the standard build.
Such a good card.
Yeah. Everyone is in the standard builds at this point. And Enhanced Hammer being back, this deck's even more powerful because now you're weakening other people's chances to do stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much the big changes. I've seen some people rock versus Seeker, of course, which makes sense. But that's just kind of like everyone should be running that. It makes sense. Instead of running 2 Lysander, you can just run a Lysander and then maybe 2 Verse Seekers because it can bring anything back besides the Lysander you need. So it's like running 2 Lysander. Just makes sense. Yeah, that's the big update for that. So fuck, it's even more powerful. So good, guys. So fucking good.
Cheap too.
Yeah, and dirt cheap. So that's my PSA. And looks like you got some things on here that I didn't even see.
Yes, there were some spoilers for the next set, which was in Japan already, I believe. It's coming out very soon, at least. It's for ties in with the Alpha or Omega sets. The game's coming out. We got what is it? Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre there. EX. They are megas pretty much. They're just called primals now in this game. I don't know why. We'll find out when they come out.
They have the Mega Rule?
Yeah, they have the Mega Rule. But they also They have another ability. This is not spotted in the pictures. They have ancient traits, new card features with ability-like effects. Primal Groudon and Sceptile have the Omega Barrier, which states whenever an opponent plays a trainer card, excluding Pokemon tools and stadium cards, prevent all effects that card does to this Pokemon. Primal Kyogre EX and Swampert have Growth. Whenever you attach an energy card from your hand to this Pokemon, this is a good effect. You may attach 2 energy cards instead.
Wow.
That is a really good effect. So we have Primal
Hypnotoxic
Groudon
Laser
here.
will do nothing.
That's right.
Yeah, that's nice.
Actually, no, that's excluding Pokemon tools. It's more of like supporters and like Lysander will do nothing.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was excluding tools. If I was just saying.
Yeah, I said that was the Omega effect. Anyway,
okay,
Primal
I see what
Groudon.
you're saying. Okay.
Primal Groudon has the Omega effect. He sucks balls. He's really bad. I mean, he's good if your opponent's got stadium cards because his Gaia Volcano there. I don't know why the Japanese cards have English text for their attacks there on the card.
That's what makes them special. That's what's supposed to be special.
Whatever. Anyway, Gaia Volcano does only 100 plus. It only does 100 more if there's a stadium card in play, and then you get to discard it.
Yeah, no.
I mean, you can play your own stadiums to do that, I guess, if you want to do 200, but it's not really worth it in the end, especially for 3 fighting energy and 1 colorless. You can put strong energy to do a little bit more.
Yeah,
not gonna happen, though. Primal Kyogre, though, is much more viable, especially in a format that has Blastoids in it, where you can just power them up turn 1. and you get to move 2 energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon, and it does 30 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon EX.
Wow, that's significant.
That is definitely significant. Much better card. Dude, thanks to Blastoise, that card is much more viable than anything else. We have Metagross and Mega Metagross as well. They both suck.
Yeah, was that 4 for 130?
If they had the growth ability, they'd be actually pretty good, but they don't. Metagross EX has Magnetic Laser for 20. For 2, you may move a Steel Energy from one of your bench Pokemon to this Pokemon. But why would you even do that? Waste a turn doing that. You can flip 4 coins for a second ability to do 50 times it over heads.
Yeah, that's kind of shit.
Mega Cross can only do 130 plus. He does 10 more damage for each steel energy attached to him.
Yeah, that's shit. But they're shiny, Nero. They should be good.
The only good card I saw again was Primal Kyogre. Since not only can he use his growth ability to really up his attack, but you also, can just use Blastoids. He's there. He's there for the taking.
Yeah,
and
it's definitely more viable, like you said.
Bench EX Pokemon, and we know how much people love EX Pokemon.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I also like how they show Swampert here because I didn't show Swampert, but he also has the growth ability, but he also has ability, so you can actually do both at the time. He has a diving search, so you can go search for a card and put it on the top of your deck. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's it's pretty cool actually.
I like how they have those abilities.
Yeah, I think it's something interesting. If they have those, I'd like to see what we see more in the future. Because if more Megas have abilities like that in the future,
a card to a useful card. You know?
Yeah. If more Megas have that ability in the future, Megas could be even more prominent in being used. Especially like now that we have those Spirit Links coming out.
Yeah.
Imagine not giving up your turn, having a growth ability, and then having Spirit Links and not give up your turn. That'd be really good. So maybe they're gonna keep pushing Megas to be more and more better.
They're trying, but they want to balance at the same time.
Yeah, it'll be a rough challenge.
You don't want to just like, Megas all. If they didn't have that turn loss, they'd be played so much. Oh, by the way, how the only deck that would be viable if that didn't exist would just be Mega Kangaskhan every single deck.
Sadly, those times I think are done because now that Enhanced Hammer's out, like the Aromatisse builds of those are useless because they rely on Rainbow Energy so heavily.
Oh, but he's so splashable.
Yeah, he's still splashable. Good luck.
Throw him in anything.
Good fucking luck, guys. At least his EX has ability to draw cards. At least that's useful.
Hooray.
Yes. Yep.
But he's splashable. Come on.
Yeah, he's still splashable. Yeah. So Pokemon. Well, let me tell you. I've been facing nothing but Donphan decks over and over again.
Because they're good. And
a lot of people really like that deck. Really like it.
By the way, Donphan can stomp Rayquaza Electric if Electric is there.
It can. Good luck with that.
Electric has absolutely no weakness in the game because it's levitate ability.
But I think more people. I don't think many people, when they go to the expand format day, I don't think many people will not change their decks. Like I don't think they'll use the same deck throughout both format days.
No.
It'd be a little rough to do that, especially when you could play Rayquaza.
Like Darkrai. Just have fun.
I want to see what Rayquaza's mega card will be because we already seen spoilers about the new
Primal Rayquaza. Oh jeez. Broken as fuck.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be broken as fuck as well. So that's really a big thing. People playing Donphan, guys, adjust your deck accordingly so it can handle Donphan. And
Donphan's weak against what? Grass? I believe so.
Oh, I don't even remember.
For grass or water. One of the two.
I'm gonna double check right now. But he's rolling out there, man. You're not gonna fight this guy. He is weak against water and resistant to lightning.
That's where your Blastoise Kealdo decks are going to do good against him.
Yeah, well, good luck. Good luck.
You need to use the Lysander to get him out there so you can just kill him.
Yeah, that's honestly what it comes down to. Yeah, so a very interesting Pokemon. I love that in the tournament scene they do this expand format thing. It's definitely something very interesting because it lets old players play their older cards. So
and
cool.
You're going to have to bring more cards if you ever get invited.
Yeah, well, you can, like I said, you can use the same deck both days, but it's pretty much different meta. Yeah, it's pretty much completely different. I will say Don Fan probably can handle the changeover a little better.
Your standard Magic deck to a modern tournament.
Well, it's not that bad.
It's not gonna stand a chance.
It only expands out to black and white. It's not that bad, but.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but.
But still, like Don Fan definitely has the easiest
You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that.
Yeah, Don Fan still has the easiest to handle that format. That's all I'm saying. All right, so that's it then. I guess that'll be our show.
Yeah.
I want to thank Walter for pushing through with his sickness. Hezzy's dying over there. He's like, "Oh, I'm dying, guys, but I need to talk about card games."
Absolutely.
Card games is my only healing factor. So yes, that's okay. Thanks Nero and Chris for joining us, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this has been episode number 92, November 16th, 2014. We'll catch you guys all next week. Peace out, home dogs.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.